let's go ahead and get started. And really quickly, we'll just run through a couple of housekeeping items. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A box for us or in the chat. We're happy to answer those. And we will have a time for Q&A at the end, so there may be some that we answer along the way, but we're happy to monitor that and just make sure that everybody gets their questions answered today. We're really excited to be here with you guys. We're excited to talk to you about SuiteWorld and a little bit more about our game plan for that. And then we are really excited to also introduce our special guests. So don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is our agenda and our game plan for what we're going to cover today. So we're going to start with some quick introductions and we'll introduce our special guest. We will also take some time to talk about SuiteWorld and just what to expect, where you can meet our teams. So we're really excited to get into that. And then we will spend some time talking about ProScope. We really want to give a little bit of background on ProScope, who we are, what we do, and how we can support you. And then we will wrap up with some Q&A. So again, feel free to put questions into the chat, and we will get to those as we go through. So really quickly, we're going to do some introductions. Claudia, I will let you introduce yourself first, and then Katie and I will go as well.
Great, thank you. It's great to be here with you. My name is Claudia Herzog. I'm out of the Denver metro area, and I run the Myers-Holum NetSuite Account Management practice, which means we work with all kinds of customers that are existing NetSuite customers. They may be in their implementation, they may be in optimization mode, but we help them through their life cycle to get the most out of the NetSuite solutions from an automation perspective. And then we assist our customers with transformation initiatives. We are happy to stand with ProScope because we have resources within our implementation practice. We are a premier implementation provider for NetSuite, and NetSuite is the only solution that we do support, NetSuite and NetSuite adjacent solutions. So we work collaboratively with partners like ProScope to help extend NetSuite into very specific use cases and into specific industries. And so we have trained resources here that can actually help deploy ProScope and then also get you ready for if you are wanting to make sure you're healthy before you lay down ProScope, that's a role that we can also play. Back to you,
Awesome.
Jessica.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia. That's super helpful. So I'll introduce myself quickly. My name is Jessica Harmling. I am the account executive here for ProScope in North America, and have been in the NetSuite space for about 5 years. So it's been a lot of fun to make the transition into project management and get to be a part of the ProScope team. And I will hand it over to Katie to introduce herself quickly as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Katie Clark. I am the solution consultant here at ProScope for the North America region. And today I'll be covering some of the more technical pieces, but I will also be at SuiteWorld, so excited to dive further into the technical pieces of ProScope's functionality there with you. So looking forward to today in SuiteWorld.
Yeah, love that lead into SuiteWorld, Katie. That's perfect because we're going to talk about SuiteWorld next. So really quickly, there's a lot of words on this slide. You don't feel like you need to read them all, but I do want to just ask you, Claudia, I know you've been to SuiteWorld a number of times. So tell us, what is SuiteWorld? Let's start there.
Yes, SuiteWorld is September 9th through the 12th this year. For those of you that are going, we hope that you do stop by our booth and the ProScope booth. We're going to be at booth 213. What is SuiteWorld? It is an immersive experience designed for existing customers. So it's a users group conference. It's been in Las Vegas for the last few years. I was actually an employee of NetSuite for about 7.5 years. So I went every year because I got all of my customers to go. It is the best way to immerse in NetSuite from a technical perspective. You're going to get the roadmap on any new features that are coming in. It's an excellent way to keep your finger on the pulse of how NetSuite is used in the real world. So it is hosted by NetSuite, and there are all kinds of amazing experiences. I would also recommend that you go to the website for SuiteWorld, suiteworld.com, planning session, your calendar for the event. There are breakouts. Get up and share their insights into how NetSuite's being used. And then most important of all, you get to talk to your peers, you get to meet with your peers and hear how they're leveraging NetSuite. They may have a solution for something that's been plaguing you for a while. And then on top of that, all of the vendors that are committed to the NetSuite ecosystem are there. And so we're going to be on the expo floor, and there's designated times when you can come by and see us. And we'd really appreciate the opportunity to hear about your experience in any ways that we can help. Is there anything else that you'd like me to add?
No, I think that's great. I think the only other question that we have is, you guys have been a sponsor before. What practical tips do you have for people who are attending?
Okay, thank you for reminding me because I was just thinking about this morning. So, like all good trade shows, this is a very physical event. There's a lot of walking involved. So we strongly recommend that you bring comfortable clothes and you bring good shoes. The other thing is, it's very important to stay hydrated, especially if you like to drink. It's really important to stay hydrated. Las Vegas is extremely, extremely dry. The other thing is, it is earlier. It's about a month earlier this year than last, so it is going to be warm. So bring outfits. They have the ability to like walk outside and shed some layers, but then it's going to be freezing inside the expo center. So make sure you're prepared for that. And then we're going to have some hydration packs at our booth. So stop on by to get those because that's really important to just keep drinking and take care of yourself. I would also recommend, since it is such an intense schedule, just find some time to take care of yourself and take a little bit of a break in between things. So those are my key words of advice. Anything from you folks from last year?
Love that. No, I think staying hydrated, wearing comfortable shoes, you're going to be walking a lot, and the clothes is a big one too. You want to be comfortable. So, I think those are all really good. And then we have some exciting news too. So we're going to touch briefly on that before we get into a little bit more background on ProScope as a whole. But this slide talks about how a lot of the attendees last year were able to identify a solution to solve business challenges that they were facing. And so we're really excited that this year we're going to be launching a new product, our product called FormScope. This product is really an amazing product. It's very customizable. It's very tried and true from a solution. A lot of our customers are using it. A lot of our customers are using it for regulatory compliance. This is really a gap that we identified in the NetSuite space around, form generation in order to solve that regulatory compliance, risk management, health and safety compliance, things like that. But it's really a customizable solution around forms. So we're excited to be launching it at SuiteWorld. We're excited to talk a little bit more about that here further down the line, but just excited to be announcing that and sharing that with you guys today. So we're excited to chat more about FormScope, but in the meantime, we want to talk a little bit about ProScope. So I will quickly turn it over to Claudia to chat more about this piece.
Perfect. So I think the most important thing here, and we're going to get to another slide that goes into greater detail on the ProScope solution, but that built for NetSuite badge is really important because as you go through your life cycle with NetSuite, as you go live with NetSuite, and then you manage all of the semi-annual upgrades, the fact is not all of the partners out there have this built for NetSuite badge. So as you go through your upgrades, these solutions are certified by NetSuite and they're designed to live on through those releases. And, ProScope does a really good job of making sure everything is tested before those upgrade cycles happen. But I do want to highlight some things here, and we'll get into it in greater detail. But if you are in the construction space or you do big projects that happen over time, that is one of the verticals that we support with this solution. Oil and gas is another key area. Energy and utilities, alternate energy providers leverage the ProScope solutions, and then shipping and logistics companies. And then just to put a pin in it, Myers-Holum has certified personnel that can help you either with readiness or help you deploy ProScope for these industries.
Yeah, awesome. So we want to chat a little bit more about really who is a good fit for ProScope.
Yeah.
So want to talk a little bit about that. And Katie, I know there's some information here to kind of chat through. So do you want to just start by talking about who you think is really a good fit for ProScope?
Yeah. We'll just go down in order counterclockwise with these topics here. But starting off with project procurement, really this is going to be a good fit for companies that are procuring a large amount of inventory or non-inventory items for projects. For revenue management, this module is going to be great for people that are recognizing revenue on a percent cost complete basis. FormScope, like Jess recently just mentioned, this is going to be for our companies that are managing multiple forms relating to projects. And just really want to emphasize that this is going to be a really flexible tool that you is going to include the most common types of info that is tracked by forms. So that's going to include all of your health and safety, risk management, quality inspections, et cetera. For our applications for payment
And
and
Katie,
AIA.
really quick, sorry, I was just going to jump in. I know we
Yeah.
talked about this a little bit, but just because FormScope is a big new product launch for us. One of the companies that we're talking to right now, actually, we've talked a lot about health and safety, right, and compliance and regulatory pieces, but there's so much more that FormScope is capable of. We actually have a company that we're talking to right now that is using it to kind of go and translate all of their Google Docs, Google Forms. They have hundreds of Google Forms that they're using throughout their company on the human resources side, with employee records and things like that, that they plan to use our FormScope tool for. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Even beyond the scope of what we typically see with these construction and utilities companies.
Yeah, definitely. And to that point, a lot of those forms are a variety of different themes like, personal achievements or risk safety inspections. So really want to emphasize that if the form or field can be created in NetSuite, it can also be transferred to FormScope. So really accessible way to submit forms. But additionally, also applications for payments or AIA billing, if that's a requirement for companies, that's going to be a really good fit with a solution or with the ProScope solution. Really, if you're seeking, efficient and automated way to manage the payment or payment application to invoicing process, NetSuite doesn't natively support applications for payments. So ProScope's application creation and certification process really ensures compliance with industry standards. For subcontract management, this is going to be really for companies that are using multiple subcontractors for project work and looking to manage that work assigned to a project, but also automate the application payment process. So this is going to be really valuable if you have, again, multiple subcontractors that you're managing currently like in a manual aspect. This is going to really add that automation to that management process for you. With change management, this is going to be for our companies that are looking to manage and track the impact of multiple change orders for projects, either internally or externally through subcontractors. Oftentimes we see, companies manually tracking the effects of change orders on their projects and the approval process. ProScope's going to completely automate that. So you're going to be able to have real-time visibility into the impacts of change orders onto your projects. And then last but not least is going to be our projects on the go or mobile access. This is really for companies that are completing on-site project work and needing to remotely track project information like time tracking, requisition creation, or receiving orders. And as you can imagine, oftentimes in the construction industry specifically, most, if not all, projects are on the go. So this is an extremely valuable feature / tool that ProScope offers.
Katie, I was wondering if you could tell us how the majority of customers are meeting their AIA billing and CIS compliance billing today. What does that look like for most customers?
Yeah, a lot of customers that we see are creating the applications for payment manually. So manually tracking what percent of, each task they're billing for, doing that certification process completely manually. And there are two major issues that come along with that. It's the manual aspect of it. So of course, that takes a lot of time to go through and create those applications manually and invoice them. But also it's an accuracy slash compliance concern. As you could imagine, with people, not machines, doing the calculation and work, there are bound to be human errors. So that can come into issue, of course, when it comes to the actual accuracy of the amount being billed, but also when it comes to from a compliance standpoint.
And Jessica, I think that you had mentioned to us one of the biggest pain points with these large types of projects. So it's sometimes very, very difficult for people who are responsible for reporting to leadership to say, hey, this is a profitable project. So like what are the aspects of the solution that really help people report to leadership and say, hey, I can confidently say that this is a profitable project?
Yeah, so you would be surprised at how many conversations I have with people where they come to us and just say, we don't even know if our projects are profitable, which is crazy for a project-driven company, right? Like it's so important for those projects to be profitable. So, ProScope, our job costing functionality is really excellent. We expand if you're in the NetSuite space, then you might be familiar with Suite projects, right? And so we expand the capabilities of Suite projects with the use of ProScope activity codes, and we really get granular with the level of detail and level of reporting that we allow with those projects. And we have some custom or not custom, sorry, but we have some out of the box reports that are available to our customers, right? That are going to track those things innately. So things like our WIP report, which is going to track job costing along the way, things like estimated versus actuals, which is really, really important for people as they are trying to think through, is my project profitable? Is what I estimated actually the numbers that, we're seeing here at the end of the project? So it's so important to be able to track those things along the way. And because, ProScope is native and inside of NetSuite, like we talked about early on, you're going to be able to have that real-time visibility and see real-time along the way, is my project profitable? Am I making money? And if not, what do I need to adjust, to make this continue to be profitable for our company?
And we hear this all the time. Hey, I'm doing this in a spreadsheet. And so that really breaks the continuity of leveraging NetSuite as a single source of truth, getting that real-time visibility. And then I'm going to put a pin in the subcontractor management piece, because the ability to manage the relationships you have with your contractors and your subcontractors is not something that you would be able to do in an easy way if you don't have this kind of solution. Is there any other comment that you have for me there, Katie, or does that kind of encompass it?
Yeah, I think that encompasses it. Also, one thing to add to our subcontractor management piece is that we have a ProScope subcontractor portal. So not only are you able to manage your subcontractor applications for payment, you can also grant access to the subcontractors directly to do that as well. So again, just another example of an extra step of automation. So your users are not doing the are limited on how much work they're actually in time they're spending in the system.
That's a great way to give visibility to a community that's, actively linked to a project. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, I know we wanted to leave a little bit of time for Q&A. So if there's any questions that anyone has, feel free to add them into the chat. I don't think there's a Q&A box. I said that early on, but please feel free to add any questions into the chat. We'd love to chat through them at this time. We'll also just, while we're doing this, put our contact info up here for anybody that wants to contact us. You'll see my email there and Claudia's. I know Claudia mentioned this, but Myers-Holum really is a great partner of ours. They do a lot of work in the industries that we talked about, and so they've got a lot of experience there. They can go in and help you guys kind of deep dive what makes sense for your business, what makes sense to move forward, and happy to chat with you guys about that as well. So you'll see my email and Claudia's. Please check out our website. We've got recent webinars there. We've got links to upcoming webinars there. So please register for future ones as well. We're in the middle of a construction series today where, we are in the middle of a construction series that the next couple of months where we'll go through several of the ProScope modules on the construction side and kind of chat through those and even demo those. So that'll be a good thing for you to see. And then, of course, follow us on LinkedIn. We would love that. We post a lot of content there. We post a lot of updates. You'll see those webinars there. We don't have our SuiteWorld booth number yet. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten it from Oracle, but as soon as we do, you'll see it through our LinkedIn. So we'd love to meet with you guys there. We'd love to schedule time. I think Claudia mentioned this, but if you've got technical resources or people that are going to be there, we'll be at the booth. Katie and I will be at the booth. Katie will be there to be doing demos of our solution. So we'd love to show you the solution so you can actually see it. So feel free to check out any of those pages.
Perfect. And then keep an eye on both the Myers-Holum web LinkedIn presence and also the ProScope LinkedIn presence, because we're going to provide some updates before the show. We also welcome the opportunity for you to stop by booth 213. Come get your hydration packs. Come talk to us about the work that you're doing in NetSuite. We'd love to see you get healthy and automated and transformed. Those are the kinds of projects that make our heart beat a little faster, and love the idea of this launch of the form solution, because that really does extend NetSuite into more of a compliance framework, and it allows you to track some of the regulatory requirements that are part of these large project scenarios. So we stand with ProScope on their product announcement, and would love to talk to you about it further.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia. And it looks like there is a Q&A box. Somebody did type in and just say, looking forward to seeing you at SuiteWorld. So don't know who you are, but we are looking forward to seeing you at SuiteWorld as well. So stop by the booth and introduce yourself. We are excited to see everybody there. So I'll give it just maybe 10 more seconds for questions if there's anything. Otherwise, I know we are about at time here. So
thank you, Katie. Thank you, Jessica. Looking forward to seeing you live in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Same
We're
here.
excited.
Thanks, Claudia.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks so
everyone.
much. Bye.
Bye.